Okay, FishPuppy 2087. Albin counter-gambit for a bit of fun. I think yeah, I'll just carry on with this. Bishop e7. Waiting for a3. He's going to play a3 at some point. Actually, didn't knight b3, didn't that just win a pawn just then? I think I misplayed it with knight d2. Knight b3 seems to be just winning a pawn. Interesting. Okay. Probably time to get rid of this d pawn. Given b5 is a big threat. Wouldn't be able to play knight d4. It's not a usual plan, but I've got f-file pressure, haven't I? Queen f5 to h5. So what's going on here? Bishop d6, there's c5 check, so I need to b5 and losing e7. I need to protect e7, I think, by that logic. It's not a brilliant position, but it might have some counterplay. So king h8. I can get this knight rerouted somewhere. We'll just stick it on a5. Or knight here. Knight a5. It's got an attraction actually to keep pressure on the queen side. If I play b3, it's queen c3. He's got that battery on g7. Ah, he's giving me a square though, c5, so also knight b7 to c5 maybe. Get away from that attack. So protecting now there. So bishop d6, if I want the rooks off, one pair of rooks off. Well, there's rook g5 there, knight takes. And get this knight back in the centre like that. Don't really want rooks off. So knight f6 or knight b7 to c5. Okay. Interesting. He seems to have a much better position actually, to be fair. The bishops are nicely, you know, on the diagonals. Nice battery here. Possession of the e-file. Tactically, I'm almost falling apart if there was rook e8 and queen g7 mate. The queen just happens to be defending g7. Right, another centralizing move. Okay. I could leave that to be taken. What about just get one of these knights back to the centre? Okay, get that knight back to the centre. Maybe knight f6 to e4. Actually, I was on f3 there. I noticed I had a tactical threat. So bishop. What about bishop h3 is now possible? Because E8 is protected. I'll give that a shot. Right, weaken the king slightly. So rook f2, queen h2, knight f6 to g4, knight f6 to e4, knight f6 to e4. Threatens rook f2 anyway. So that's one threat that I've got now, finally. Otherwise he's just dominating the position. Okay. Is there anything else here? Knight f5. Knight e4. Knight f5 might probe a weakness or two. Maybe queen g5 or something. Okay. Queen h5. G4 does knight h4 check. Am I tempting him for g4? But then, I don't know, king g3? Knight takes g4. That's actually happening. There's also queen h1 here. No, it doesn't attack the rook. Okay, so knight h4, knight g4. I think knight h4. The king's really going to come up to be carnivorous. Really, knight takes g4. It is, isn't it? Knight e4 check. For rook f3. No. King's carnivorous here. What about just knight f5 then? Just be content with slightly weakening his king position. So he's just one apiece basically, but he's down to a minute and he's got a weakened king position. So that could count for a lot in Blitz. Knight e4 check? No, he's on f3. Knight h5 check? Does protect g7. So maybe like it's a queen g5 check here. Knight f4. What about rook f6? If knight moves, there's rook g6. Oh, it's queen h3 for knight g3. Knight g3 is not quite working. It's going back on the attack. Oh, if I take, just be content with a piece down. Oh, I think I'll do that because g7 is protected anyway. There's a rook f2, maybe knight f4 later. I'll play g6 and knight f4 later. Okay, so g6, not getting immediately mated. So knight f4 with idea of keep gaining tempo. So knight f4. Oh. Isn't he getting in trouble with his pieces here? "20 seconds to finish me off." Okay, I'm not 100% sure of the mating there. Is it emerging? Mating that? Hope not. That was a check. Throw a check in. See a check. Oh, more checks. Even more checks and win bishop. Oh, mated. I thought I had a bit of a counterplay. Oh, blimey. He had a dominant position out of that Albin counter-gambit. That shows the Albin maybe isn't that good. And also knight b3 just seems to be winning a pawn at any time here. Knight b3. No, knight b3 I can take on f3 actually, but he gets that nice huge bishop on the diagonal. So yeah, horrible game. Just trying to generate some counterplay, really. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.